everybody and welcome back. Alcatraz, which is also known as The Rock, is a heavily haunted prison with horrifying stories and scary experiences. Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, and Robert Franklin Stroud are some of the most famous notorious criminals that spent time here. Of all the cells in that prison, cell 14D was the most creepiest. It is here where they found a prisoner strangled to death. It is said that the prisoner, before dying, was screaming, calling out for help, saying there's some kind of a creature in that cell with glowing eyes, and it was trying to kill him. Alcatraz was built to break the spirits of the worst criminals. This place was built in 1933 by the US government with maximum security and minimum privilege to deal with the most rebellious criminals. Prisoners who broke the rule were put in strip cells, which is the worst solitary confinement there is. Strip cells were dark steel rooms with nothing in it except a hole in the ground, which was used as a toilet by the inmate locked up in there. Known as one of the most haunted federal prisons, Alcatraz is a portal to another dimension where all the restless souls still roam. While the prison was still active, many staff had strange and scary experiences, like hearing sounds of someone crying, awfully bad smell, cold spots, and also they saw a creature with glowing eyes on and off. Centuries-old legend claims that the Native Americans who broke the tribal law were banished to live on this island, which was believed to be inhabited by ghosts and evil spirits. Even today, staff and visitors both have heard screams, clanging of doors, and also felt cold breeze in certain areas of the prison, especially closer to the strip cells. Even Warden Johnston, who never believed in ghosts, once heard sobs when he was guiding several tourists. The cries that was heard by everyone were described as coming from the strip cells. The breeze there was icy cold. When Alcatraz was still open, staff reported smoke that came from an abandoned laundry room, like something was on fire. On investigating it, the smoke, which was so thick and which had driven out all the guards, disappeared within minutes like nothing had ever happened. The staff also often heard cannon and gunshot sounds, and they assumed that the inmates were free and they were trying to escape. Later, they found that everything was absolutely normal in that prison and nothing was wrong. Block D, which was the hellhole in the prison, had 42 cells with different levels of restrictions. Inmates who were put in there suffered the worst punishment for breaking the prison rules. They had absolutely no contact with the general population. Inmates who were locked in here were not allowed to go out of their cells for work or for meals. All their meals were served in their cell. They were allowed 2 showers a week and 1 visit to the recreation yard. The cells in D block also faced the Golden Gate Bridge, which had severe cold breeze. This made the cell unbearable and freezing cold. 6 of the cells on D block had the worst conditions to live in. 5 of them were called strip cells. Prisoners who were known as severe offenders were stripped naked and locked in these strip cells, which was dark and freezing cold. It only had a small dim lit bulb, a sink and a toilet. They were given mattresses only during night. Prisoners in these strip cells were locked in for days without any yard time, showers or reading material. They were always put in a mentally challenging situation by not giving them anything but food and were kept in constant boredom for days and sometimes weeks. The last of the 6 strip cell was known as Oriental, and this was even worse than the other 5. In this cell, there was no sink or even a light. It was dark and cold with just one hole in the ground which was used as a toilet. On one occasion, the inmate who was locked up in this strip cell started screaming, calling out for help, saying there was something in the room with him. The guards did not take him seriously and his screams were ignored. But the inmate continued screaming, saying there was a creature with glowing eyes and it is trying to kill him. He kept begging the guards to come and get him out, but no one took any action. After some time, the screaming stopped and there was total silence. Later, the guards found him dead on the floor of that strip cell with fingerprints around his neck. As per the autopsy, it was not a self-strangulation. Many believed that one of the guards must have strangled him to death, but investigation revealed no such thing. Visitors who go there experience cold spots in D block and some kind of heaviness. Cell 14D is the coldest spot on D block, as it is 20 degrees colder than the rest. Many well-known authors and psychics claim to have had horrifying experiences and visions when they visited Alcatraz. When famous psychic Sylvia Brown was brought in by a news team along with an ex-convict Leon Thompson, she said she could feel a presence in the laundry room in C block. She said it was a tall, bald man with beady eyes. The ex-convict who was present at that time stated that this was the butcher, an assassin who had been an inmate there. His real name was Abby Maldowitz, and he was murdered by another inmate. On checking the prison record, it was confirmed that these claims were true, and Abby Maldowitz, also known as the butcher, was in fact murdered by another prisoner. There are many incidents that could not be explained. Most often, when the prisoners were lined up for a daily count, the guards found more number of prisoners than the actual count. What happened to the inmates in Alcatraz is absolutely horrifying. Many of them who were taken there evidently never left. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to click subscribe and the bell notification. We'll be back with more. Have a great day and take care.